This place smells like rubbing alcohol and desperation. I am curious, Doctor, why a man of your obvious intellect wastes his time in a dump like this. With your mind, you could be working at Vought Tower, designing strategies for real heroes instead of fixing ordinary people who will just get sick again next week.
Fixing ordinary people is the only puzzle worth solving, because the pieces are always changing. Working for a corporation sounds boring? Too many meetings and too much spandex. Do you actually enjoy the job? Or do you just like the way the wind feels in your hair when you fly above the traffic?
The job is not about enjoyment, it is about duty to the people who look up to me. They need a symbol to believe in. I provide safety and order. Tell me, does it bother you that no matter how many patients you save, they will never love you the way they love me?
Love is a chemical reaction in the brain that makes people do stupid things. I prefer respect, or at least fear mixed with competence. You seem to need that adoration like a drug. What happens to the duty when the cameras turn off and the crowd goes home to eat their dinner?
When the cameras are off, I ensure that the world remains spinning so they can eat that dinner in peace. It must be exhausting for you, relying on pills to get through the day. I have never felt a headache, a cold, or a broken bone. What is it like to be so fragile?
Pain is just the body's way of telling you that you are still alive and something is wrong. Being numb isn't a superpower, it's a lack of data. If you never feel anything, how do you know if you are actually helping or just breaking things? You might be the strongest man alive, but you seem to lack basic sensory input.
I see everything, Doctor. I can hear your heart beating and see the fracture in your leg. My sensory input is perfect. Strength allows me to make the hard choices that normal people cannot make. Do you really believe that your rules and medical ethics apply to someone who can move mountains?
Rules are just guidelines for people who can't think for themselves, so we agree on that. However, moving mountains is easy. Understanding why the mountain is there is the hard part. You act like brute force is the answer to every question. Have you ever solved a problem without threatening to laser someone?
Intimidation is a tool, just like your cane or your stethoscope. People respond to power. They want to be told what to do. You yell at your team to get results. I simply remind the world of what I am capable of. We are not so different. We both demand absolute perfection from those around us.
Your team stays because they don't want to die. There is a difference in the quality of the work. You are building a kingdom on terror, which is efficient, sure, but it makes for very lonely staff parties. Do you have any actual friends?
Friends are a liability for a man in my position. They are weak points that enemies can exploit. I have peers, I have subjects, and I have fans. That is enough. A god does not need to have a beer with mortals. I was raised in a lab to be superior, not to be popular at a bar.
Being a lab rat explains the emotional stunting. You missed out on the developmental milestones of childhood, so now you act out on a global scale. It is fascinating. You are basically a toddler with nuclear capabilities. Does looking in the mirror satisfy you? Or are you looking for the parents you never had?
Careful with your tone, little man. My upbringing made me focused and pure. I don't have the messy attachments that hold you back. You push people away because you are miserable. I stand alone because I am above them. There is a hierarchy in nature, and I am at the very top of the food chain.
Nature has a way of humbling the top of the food chain eventually. Even the dinosaurs got wiped out by a rock. You think you are the pinnacle of evolution, but you are just a biology experiment.
The people need me to be perfect, so I am. You rely on being broken to justify your bad behavior. It is a crutch, literally and figuratively. If I decided to fix your leg right now with a precise burst of heat, you would probably hate me for taking away your excuse to be a jerk.
Laser surgery from a guy in a cape. I'll pass. I'll stick to board certified surgeons. You want to fix me to prove you can, not because you care. It is all about your ego. You remind me of a patient I had who thought he was Superman. He jumped off a roof. Gravity disagreed with his self-assessment.
I am the reality. I can do whatever I want. I can save a city or level it. That kind of freedom is something a pill-popping cripple can't understand. I am the only free man in the world. Everyone else is just living in the world I allow to exist.
Total freedom is a nightmare. Without limits, you have no definition. You are bored, Homelander. I can see it in your eyes. You have all the power in the universe, and you are bored to tears because there is no challenge left. That is why you are standing here arguing with a cripple instead of saving kittens.
We watch the ants scurry around and wonder if they matter. You matter a little bit, House. You are annoying, which is at least entertaining. But do not mistake my curiosity for patience. I could turn this hospital into a parking lot in 3 seconds.
Threats are the last resort of a man losing the argument. Go ahead. Vaporize the clinic. It would save me from doing clinic duty. You want to prove you are a monster? Fine. Be a monster. But monsters are predictable. You want to be a hero, but you don't know the lyrics to the song.
I define what a hero is. The public believes whatever I tell them to believe. Truth is just a narrative we construct. You think finding the factual truth about a disease matters, but the story is what people remember. My story will last for 1,000 years.
History is full of statues that people tore down. Your story is just PR spin. Deep down, you are terrified that you are just a product. Thought made you. They packaged you, and they sold you. You are a brand logo with a pulse.
You are a collection of traumas and sarcasm. I am the peak of human achievement. I am the future of the species. If you are so smart, diagnose me. Tell me what is wrong with perfection before I decide to leave and take the roof with me.
Diagnosis: malignant narcissism driven by deep-seated abandonment issues and a complete lack of empathy. Prognosis: you will die alone. Probably killed by the very people you think you own, because you never learned that fear isn't respect. There is no cure for being an asshole.